So we're back live, just coasting out here, downtown Brampton. Manipulating the time and the day, man, waiting for life to just generate itself. You know what I mean? Can't wait too long though, because time is always going. But this is what they call the year of disclosure, which is we're at the half mark, halfway point, 7 months in. Or this halfway point of this year of disclosure. A lot of people are getting frustrated. A lot of people are, getting themselves into feelings of worries and wondering where the next paycheck is coming from. Don't worry about all of that. Don't worry about you aligning yourself with the true inner workings of how you can master yourself with God and Source. Like that is so important, especially right now, especially when you were so used to having money in your pocket. And so when you're so used to being independent and not trying to drive this narrative of making people dependable. You can't let this whole nerve-wracking life turn you into dependent from being independent. You got to still stay on your mark while still conducting, human nature. And human nature, you can love people and be right. And I know some people, they just ain't right in their head, but get right in your own head. The best line I ever heard was from David Goggins when he said, that if you can't fix your own brain, you're fucked. And to stem back on something that I was saying earlier in one of my other videos, to say if you're not fighting the problem, you're part of the problem. That means like if you're not helping fighting the problem, then you are the problem. You're like part of the problem. So more or less, just get your shit together, man. Fix your head, bro. Denying yourself and your path within is like is like letting yourself say, you know what, I give up on myself. You only have yourself, and you will always have yourself. That is just the plain and simplicity of what it is. And nobody can give you anything. Nobody can take away anything. Only you can consent to all of these things is going to keep you in that rotation. But only you yourself can take yourself out of that rotation, by going in a new direction. And who knows what it's going to be like on the other side, but it's better to be excited and scared at the same time and, going against your fears than to let your fears hold you, hold you down, hold you solitude to that making, that marking. But, in the midst of it all, there's nothing to really be frustrated and worried about. When you lean on taking yourself out of all these situations and situational society holds. Just get yourself out. Stop lining yourself up for making more mistakes. And when you start to feel like a mistake is coming or something's unfortunate, just sit back for a second, take a breath. Look around. Make sure that what you're doing is not closing off your destiny to where you really want to be. Don't lose your mind over addictive things that's going to keep you locked in addiction to the point where you just lose yourself inside of your directions, inside of your goals, inside of your passions. And I know days can be tough and shit, and it'd be nice to go and just pick up an alcohol drink or pick up some drug and shit. I would rather tell you all to go smoke weed and line up yourself and cut back for a little bit. But when you smoke, you should be eating. should be eating. I'm not trying to tell everybody that they should go and smoke weed. Let me just put that out there. I'm just saying, if there is anything you do, smoking weed would probably be best prevalent than to be losing yourself with all these hard-ass drugs and losing yourself with alcohol, let alone none of this shit is good for you. I don't care how far deep in whatever you're in. Rehabilitate yourself, get the hell out of it, and get right. Only you could fix your own brain. I tell people all the time, like you could chase books, you could read about gurus, you could open yourself up to therapists and all this kind of stuff, but you are your own therapist, man. Because you have to go back home and make a decision about all of the situations that you have walked yourself into, all the doors that you opened up and walked in. You still got to go home and make that decision on how you're going to adjust between either what has been told to you in advice or what has been told to you in opinion. And you still got to go out there and make a choice. The best fix is for you to get right with yourself. And they say the deeper that you go within yourself, the higher you rise. The deeper you go within yourself, the more magnetic you become. Magnetic meaning the more you attract to yourself. Because magnetically, however you see yourself is what's going to come from yourself. Look, man, it's too early in the morning to be tripping on anything. So I just want to tell you out there, to all the people that are hurting right now, to all the people that are feeling, out of pocket, just level up. Get up, shake that shit off, level yourself up. You know what I mean? While I'm telling y'all this, it's like I'm telling myself this too. Because whatever comes out of you is also coming from within. And I got nothing but value and respect and love and honor and shit. And I know sometimes that could be pushed under the rug, but there's no reason for any of that to push under the rug. Just get yourself up and keep going. Hashtag Ike Tower. Hashtag Ike Mode Warrior. Hashtag Starseed Alliance. Hashtag WhatServe TV. And just control your pocket. Control your end. When you have, earn before you spend. That's what I'm saying. Earn before you spend. And if you're going to spend, make sure it's towards something great. Love you. Forever. Ike Tower. WhatServe TV. Coming at you live and direct.